Hello, this is a little announcement I have. It's about a web development course that I have been meaning to do for some time now. And I will explain the details as we go through my notes. The requirements are very simple. You need to understand English, obviously. You need to have a computer and one of these three operating systems. You are probably on Windows or on Mac. If you are on Linux, that is the best option. If you're on Mac, it's a very close second one. Most of the things will work the same. There might be some little differences, but they don't really matter. If you're on Windows, there might be some additional setup required, but other than that, you should be able to achieve the same results, because web development is about portability. Use the same kind of software, the web browser, like Firefox, Google Chrome, and so on. They are all supposed to work the same across operating systems. Whether they do or not, in reality, that's a different story, but that's the assumption you can have. So the general ideas of this course: it is supposed to be a from zero to hero type of course, meaning it doesn't matter who you are, what age you are, what kind of experience or lack thereof you have with programming. This course will take you from not understanding anything to being someone like me, and hopefully even a better web developer than I am. And this is the kind of course I wish I had access to when I was starting to code, when I was getting into web development a few years ago. And I've looked through other courses and flaws. Obviously, I didn't look through all of them, but I've read through their comments, and as you know, or maybe not, if you look through comments, most of them are the 5-star ones that are visible. And if you want to see the real comments that show you the real sort of quality of a given course, you need to scroll a lot. And this is the current kind of course I wish I had when I was starting out. And we will be going through lots of examples. There will be lots of exercises. So this is not for you to look at me do stuff. This is for you to actually follow me, do your own homework. And the more you do that, the quicker the process will be. The quicker you will become an informed web developer. And we will have some interesting use cases. So if you followed some tutorials on the internet, you probably encountered use cases like creating a CD library, or designing a restaurant that sells pizzas, or some stupid stuff like that no one is interested in. So I think the most interesting use case would be a game, an RPG game. So we will have characters, an inventory, equipment, swords, spells, enemies, maybe some locations, stuff like that. And it will be full stack, so it will be a game, like you would understand it. And there will be all kinds of topics that I will touch upon. They will be split into two groups, technical and social. There will be basically playlists on this channel. I will put videos into those playlists. Technical is obviously how to code, all the different details, intricacies of programming, how websites work, how web browsers work, what's networking, how does it work, what does it mean to code, what kind of programming languages there are, and what are the differences between them, what are the trade-offs, and so on and so forth. And the social part will be the sort of how do I survive it mentally? How do I not go crazy after a week of learning all of this and reading all the blog posts, all the questions and answers, or Stack Overflow. And there are some deeper problems in the web development industry that I will I think I have the notes somewhere here. But there are big problems in the industry, and if you do not focus on your little niche or on your little path, you will go crazy and you will burn out after a year or two. The groups will have levels, so for example, in the beginning we will talk about basics like what's a file, what's a folder, how do you rename a file, what's a web browser, what's a website, and so on. Then we will go to how to create a website. Then we will go to some other stuff like how to code a web server or how to code some fancy logic in a website. Then we will go into databases and some other topics that you should not concern yourself with for now. And please ask questions, because you will waste a lot of time trying to figure out stuff for yourself. And there is also a lot of misleading information on the internet. So just ask questions. I will check them every day. I'm at the computer actually most of the time, so there is a very high chance that I will answer you in a few minutes or in a half an hour or something like that. Yeah, this is the note. So what kind of world you're about to enter and how to navigate it. Web development is full of people I would call hipsters, these, Kool-Aid and stuff like that. And there are ways to survive in it, doing your thing and not caring about all the craziness. And I will talk about it extensively, probably in the social, but also in the technical parts. So the expected results of this course, what can you expect when you finish it? Mainly, I would say the one of the main problems people have is the confidence. I will talk about it somewhere here. Ability to tackle new tasks without knowledge. So obviously nobody knows everything. Times like that passed a long time ago. You could have known everything a human was able to know probably around 0 BC, in the ancient Rome or Greece, but it is no longer true, and it is important to be better at finding information and understanding where to look for this information than actually remembering all of it, because you won't. There's just too much of it. And I can tell you that it's not that this stuff is difficult, which is actually my last line here, I think. All of this is easy. All this web development stuff. There is just a lot of it. And that's where the perceived difficulty comes from. So that is not the problem. It's all easy. There is just a lot of it. And there is a finite set of sort of concepts you need to understand. And once you grasp them, then everything else becomes boring and the same. It's just a different name, different color, shape, whatever. But it's the same concept. You will be able to create a project from scratch on your own. You will be able to pick the technologies. You will understand the entire stack. You will understand why you chose those technologies and not some other technology. And you will not understand the trade-offs. You will understand the ecosystems of the libraries, why people do stuff in certain ways, why others don't, what's what, when to use what, and why not to use most of it. most internet users are clueless. They do not recognize certain patterns and they believe what they are presented with way too much. So for example, clicking on the download button to install new programs, or believing that you are going to earn $50,000 a month doing nothing from home, stuff like that. So people are way too naive and clueless, and this comes from not understanding what's going on the web. And this is the sort of social part, but it's important to remember that if people understood what's going on behind the scenes, if they were accustomed to all the patterns and the ways things work, they probably wouldn't get caught by these scammers. But not just scammers. So I remember how it was when I was first starting to learn how to code, which was, I don't know what it was, 6 years ago, 7, 8. And the biggest problems I think newcomers face is the fear of the unknown. So you're supposed to write some code, some English words, maybe some plus sign and some parentheses, some commas, but you don't really understand why these particular words, why in that order, and so on. How does it actually run? What does the computer do with it that it knows how to run it? It's just English. And the sort of black box aura. Virtually all answers to questions on Stack Overflow expect you to already understand the subject being explained, which is stupid, but that's the reality. So you will see that in many cases you are looking for answer to some question you have, to some problem or some bug or some error, and the answer will use a lot of terminology or make some assumptions about you already knowing something, which you won't because you are new to this. So you will be in this circle, and before you get out of the circle, sometimes it might take you tens of hours, days, before you figure some stupid detail out. So as a non-technical person, you are conditioned to use just the user interfaces prepared for you by some unknown developers. So, clicking like I am doing right now. I am clicking and moving my mouse, and this text is highlighted. How does it happen? Who knows? Or when you right-click somewhere, you get a menu. You have some items in that menu, but can you change them? Can you add new ones? Can you change what happens when you click on them? No, because they are prepared for you by someone else. And after this course, you will understand that sometimes you can change them, and you will know how to do that, and sometimes you probably cannot. And in those cases, you will probably need to use some other software. So, yeah, you don't know what's going on under the hood, and you cannot even guess because you lack the knowledge on how things are built. What's the sort of process behind building stuff? And you are conditioned to use your mouse, clicking the download button to install new programs. I haven't used the download button in probably 10 years. I just use the terminal, which is the black box, you can think of it, where you just type stuff, and that way you can do virtually everything. So this course is my best attempt at showing you whatever knowledge and experience I have in web development and giving you the tools to achieve the same and more. You will not finish it in X days, on X hours. So this course requires you to do the work because it is your head. All the information must get to. Be systematic and frankly become obsessed with it. or even insane, because that way you will learn very quickly. You will think about stuff that you learned when you sleep, or when waiting in a queue somewhere. Your brain will process stuff much more often if you are obsessed with it. Hopefully this course, you use it to your advantage and improve your internet browsing experience and life in general. You should be able to get a job after finishing this course. Or maybe you choose to make your own company, or create your own project, some product maybe, or maybe not, and you will just use the obtained knowledge to sometimes use it on the internet when some website breaks, or you cannot go through a form on some website because an input field is grayed out, or some weird error appears and you don't know what to do. Then you will know what to do. So this is everything I wanted to say. Yes, the most important part, please leave questions. I will answer them, and that will save you a lot of time. So this is everything I wanted to say. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in one of the upcoming videos. It will be a technical one, probably. I will start posting social ones. Social ones will be much more rare, probably one every 5 or 10 technical videos. Then I will post a social one. So thank you for watching. I will see you soon.